All right, welcome everybody to Before the Curse. You got to roll the lip when I say it. Before the Curse. Before the Curse. All right, so it's our night where it's game night. All right. And of course, before game night, we always try to get with one of our players. Tonight, it's Will, a.k.a. like 3 different characters in the last session. So
I mean, if the session went longer, it would have been.
Yeah. So let's
definitely lost 2 characters.
Before we jump into it, so anybody who's going to join the stream, going to be glad to have you with us. A couple things just to be aware of. This is my son. Say hi, Jackson. There he is. Hi, Jackson. All right. We actually want you to jump in during the stream and ask questions. You can ask questions on Facebook or through Twitch or from YouTube, anywhere that you want, and ask Will some questions as we go through it. But I'm going to interview him a little bit. Welcome, watcher. I think Adam Logan just gave us a follow. Thanks a lot for that follow, buddy. Glad you're here. Anyway, we're going to get cracking here and interview Will. So the format of this is we're going to talk to him because I think this is really the first time we've had a chance to sit down. And if we've talked before, we really didn't talk much about your gaming experience. And so the first little bit, we're going to talk a little about you as a gamer and kind of what kind of games you're into, and then specifically about role-playing Dungeons & Dragons. And then we'll talk about what happened last session, because inquiring minds really want to know. So, all right. So you're Will. Hey, Will, Micah. Nice to meet you. And our players here. So I guess tell our folks a little bit about you and your gaming background.
Well, you want board games specifically?
Well, just gaming in general.
RPG?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. My parents had SNES, Atari when I was real young, and my older cousins got me into GoldenEye. And I got really good at that at a young age, so the FPS kind of took off from there. But switching from N64 to Xbox for Halo was definitely a task I was not ready for. So Halo 1, I was just terrible. But then Halo 2 came out, and I had my first gaming marathon there, and that was 25 hours straight.
Oh, wow.
But then it continued into the Xbox 360 days, and eventually getting my first PC for Modern Warfare 1. God, who knows what year that was? 2003?
Long time ago, yeah, for sure.
Then typically all your Call of Duties. I was making music on the side, so my Steam library grew. Probably played only about 20% of it at this point. A lot of gaming, mainly just PC games. Not so much the roleplay ones. Done my fair share in Skyrim and other RPGs of that matter.
So what about PC or console?
PC.
PC. All right. Just that's the big question you guys always got to ask the gamers out there is like, which platform do you like cheat one on the other, or you prefer one? So. All right, so keep going.
I mean, they all have their benefits, their price points, but if you want freedom, customability, you're gonna go with PC.
Gotcha.
Let's see, role playing and tabletop RPGs. Ken and Jackson kind of got me into them. I would say almost 3 years ago. No, it would have been 3. No, almost 4 years ago. I would say this summer would be 4 years. Started doing an online campaign, or not online campaign, but IRL. I think it would have been 5e campaign. No, it was Pathfinder with their friend Josh. A couple months before that, I got into Critical Role. Started binge watching what episodes they had. They had been out for maybe a year at that point.
Mm-hmm.
We're still pretty new. So I started binge watching that, starting to really like it and getting into it. And they had just switched to 5e, but I really enjoy Pathfinder. And it's just I like numbers, I like the combat, the min-maxing. The role-playing aspect has been my weakest part, and I'm trying to grow into that.
Gotcha.
as we add on to the years.
Yeah. Okay. So the Ken and Jackson's one of our players here. And so what was your first role-playing game? And then when that session ended, what did you think?
I mean, it was playing like an urban ranger, full elf for Pathfinder, and I mean, I had fun, but I went away with that session thinking I need to work on this. I was a terrible role player. I probably still am fairly.
So, what's your favorite thing about role playing? Like, what is a scene that was really satisfactory to you as a player?
I don't know. I'm starting to like the moments. I feel like sometimes my characters don't have enough depth to add their flavor into every scene. So I just sit quietly back, especially playing like Gildan, who was probably more deep in thought, thinking about what we should do rather than I like beer.
Like somebody else we won't talk about.
Yeah.
So what is of all the role playing, because you played, this is your second campaign to play with me as a DM, and our first one was the Star Wars campaign, which was a lot of fun. Ken really wants to bring that back, and so maybe we'll bring that back around here before too long.
I'm definitely interested. Probably won't pick a sniper wolf this time.
The small site, because you were just playing a wee little dude, right, with a big gun.
Yeah, he was. His arms as tall as he was. He's like 3 feet, so he's just all dex. But as much as I thought I failed role playing that character, I was really just kind of the butt of the joke for a lot of the stuff that went on. Fleas, space syphilis.
Yeah.
I would mess stuff up, not understand stuff, but when you needed me to hit somebody from a mile out,
you could do it. Yeah. So, what of all the different games that you've played from a role playing standpoint, do you have a favorite scene or a memorable scene that sticks out for you?
That I've played? Oh man. I mean, the most recent one with Vorn. When I let him get the free hit after being healed when it was supposed to be a one-on-one and just took it. Yeah. And then I think it was more your reaction. But it meant like, I guess it would have been the climax, right? Of the drama, because we established the one-on-one. One of our players broke that code, so everybody's gonna die. That's how I felt, and so I was like, all right, since we're gonna die anyway, might as well like take the hit, try and fix things. It fixed things, which was the going over the climax, and I felt like that was the best moment, and it made me real satisfied with the end of that character.
The eventual ending, yeah. That was a good scene. So dive in. Let's see. So again, for anybody watching, we really love questions. Say hi. Will really likes it when people say hi. He can see any question that you put in, any comment that you make. We'd be glad to have you ask him any question. This is a chance to ask him or his character anything. Now, the interesting thing going in and talking about last session is most of the time I have the opportunity to really explore in this session the character, and how the character responded in the session. This is unique in that the characters that you've had here recently are all
deceased or gone or not in my control anymore.
yeah, one of those three. So why don't you walk us through the last session? How did it start and how did it end?
We started out with going to the tower. We made it there without too much trouble. I feel like
and you were playing Gildan then, or you?
Yeah, Gildan the monk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we made it there, and I might have not been in character enough, or maybe I just didn't get heard. But I'm like, it's like dance poses. Way before we started like touching anything. And so next time I'll just take a character to shout out what they're thinking rather than don't know. I try not to meta too much.
Well, yeah, of course.
But at the same time, like, it's not so much as trying not to meta, is that you have to play your character in such a way where you get around the meta without it seeming like it. Because I think that's the difficulty. Like, if we played this as a turn-based, everybody's like gonna decide what each character's gonna do in a group, that wouldn't be as fun.
Right.
It might be easier for Curse of Strahd, but it's not as fun. So I think the fun difficulty should be, hey, how can you roleplay your character to stumble into what meta you're thinking?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really, I mean, as you continue to, do role-playing games and everything, that's really a testament to that maturation, because you'll end up in a couple of different camps. You end up in the power gaming camps that they've gone through all the different scenarios, they've seen all the different things, and then what they inevitably do is that, regardless of what character they're playing, the same strategy, they're always applying the same strategies, right? And it's not even necessarily meta, it's that they're using their previous experiences as a role player to beat the game, right? And that's the whole idea for them, is that satisfaction is found from beating the puzzle or beating that fight. And it's not through the experience of growing the character or enhancing that character and having that character learn. We were talking about, I think last one we were talking to Jason about his experience, and that his character unfortunately learned in a bad way, not to run off by yourself. And had he survived that, he'd probably be a little bit more wiser. But Jason is a character, having played with him before as a player, I think he knew what could potentially happen. The same thing with Ryan's character last time, right? His character has a perfect reason to know maybe I shouldn't just go touch doors, but
I would give it to Jason, except he did the same thing twice. It's like he didn't learn from the first time.
Well, yeah, that's true. Maybe his character's motivation for greed overcome his smartness. I don't know. So what? So Gildan came in, and what happened? What happened with Gildan? So you guys were at the tower.
We're at the tower. We activated it. Lightning struck down for forever, alerting everything around us. And then the alchemist fire was tripped in the big wagon right next to it, and our rogue I think, if you want to put it that way, he is single-minded. He's not thinking about multiple things. He's thinking about one thing and accomplishing that one thing, and not, what's the word for it, the term?
The bigger picture?
The big picture, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, Alchemist Fire, 101 explosions.
It's almost like a thermal detonator.
Being the monk with dex and good saves, and I can't roll online. Whatever it is. I tried the D&D Beyond rolling online, and it's terrible. Like,
the new rolling system?
Great. I'm sure it works great. It does not work for me. I'd rather much roll in person. Well, I Ken has bad luck in person.
Yeah, you're the
I have the opposite.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that signaled the end of Gildan.
Yeah.
Which I think you kept renaming him during the game, which was really hilarious, by the way. That was kind of funny.
Oh, Crispy.
Shish kebab.
Yeah. Well, after it impaled me, yeah.
Yeah.
I left off with a joke because that was me dealing with the loss. What was it? I said, all those abs work out for nothing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was like, I guess you finally ran out of chi points. So I couldn't help it. Let's see.
Well,
and then, go ahead.
It's not like there's I couldn't have. I think I did have catch projectile.
Not this
but
time.
It wasn't an attack. It's a save. So
yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're trying to catch, the equivalent of a tree. You caught it.
I'm surprised I didn't go flying off with you. You just didn't see it again.
Okay, so what happens next is you have another, and I want everybody at home to understand this because this is also the other comical part. Comical, yes, but just an understanding about the Curse of Strahd is dangerous. It's deadly. It's really difficult. The challenge is really high. I mean, I think Will and I have looked at challenge ratings post the event and looked to try to see where they leveled out. And I don't think this group has faced a single challenge rating that's not deadly yet or really close.
We calculated the last one, but we didn't actually do that fight.
Right.
But that was 3 times over deadly.
Yeah.
And it would have been deadly for a level 10 party.
Yeah. So the because Strahd is so open and the encounters are open, there's no real and they don't make it railroad. There's no fairy godmother, oh, you shouldn't go that way. It might be murderous for you. It's actually more like
That's actually, you, Micah.
Oh, I'm supposed to be the fairy godmother? I feel like I'm more like the old guys from the Muppets. Sorry, I mean.
Yeah, no, that's right on. Either that or the audience from Space Theater.
Yeah,
MST3K.
One of those guys. Yeah. So just kind of watching where it goes. Just don't mind the bag of popcorn back here. It has nothing to do with it. So he actually had another character from a previous session because he knew it was getting close, and he actually was saved in that last session. And the character's name waiting in the wings. What was that character's name? It was like
Vorn Strasshold?
No. The before he got a name, what did you call him? He was
before he got it was
standby or
no 3 death saves.
The 3 death saves. That was his name, and that was because Gildan had already gone through a death sequence before twice.
Yeah, Zuden saved me at the very end.
Right, and so you've got Vorn ready to go. Tell us about Vorn and tell us what happened.
Vorn woke up not remembering anything and fabricated a bunch of crazy lies to explain it to himself, who'd been corrected by the mage of the tower. I don't know if she's she has a bunch of swords. I don't actually know if she had any magic tricks. Anyway, apparently she found him drunk in a forest with his pants down. Sounded like him. So he'd only been there like half a day or a day, just drunk and chained up.
Recovering.
He was rescued by dwarves. He was like, yes, there's no dwarves here. I love dwarves. And the wolves started attacking. He had experience with wolves. And once the pretty boy failed, he was like, I gotta save these dwarves. And that's why he went out first.
The pretty boy. You're talking about Jason's other character, too.
Yeah, the Asimar noble, right?
Yeah. Okay, and so what happened then? You had this big epic battle with the main werewolf. You got bit. You did fail that save. And then explain to everybody what happened after that one. After that, how did that conclude? We
were going blow for blow. I think based on the HP, we were both taking half damage. I did really well against it. I don't remember his name, I'm sorry. Jason's character rolled a natural 20, became conscious, bluffed his unconsciousness, and then as the battle had maybe 2 more rounds to go, he healed me, which broke the verbal contract we had for a one-on-one fight for the rest of the party to be set free.
Okay.
He healed me for a decent amount. I think it was 15 points. And in character, he realized he got healed, and then let the werewolf attack him for free to at least try to keep it honorable. This happened immediately after I should back up to the beginning of the fight where Vorn said, "This is not going to be a fair fight unless you're in human form. I know about werewolves. I know how strong you are. If you're looking for a challenge, it's not going to be it." So I fought him in human form. Once he started getting low, he started shifting into, I guess, a hybrid form. And I think he gets more attacks, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's on his last leg, so is Vorn. He gets healed even after, and it's like, okay. So he got his, he started shifting when he shouldn't have. I got healed when I shouldn't have. I'm going to give it up. And the damage he did for that free hit actually did not cancel out the heal, so it actually helped. But the werewolf liked what he saw. He knew... I guess he could feel that he infected or turned. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, he was operating on logic that he bit you and he's seen people change before, so he just took an educated guess, and or he was bluffing and figured that if you came with him, he'd just turn you anyway. But
yeah. So thinking or knowing that he could get I can't say it.
I can't ever say lycanthropy. Something.
Yeah,
like that.
sure. He gave an offer, saying if Vorn would come with them and join their pack, that the rest of the party would go, and he was going to save the dwarves. That was his thing. And add a character. This is Will saying, I want to make sure Ken's character stays alive, and Boozebeard, because they've been great together, and I think everybody else is kind of maybe doesn't have their priorities right for this game.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna save their characters and use this dwarf to save their dwarves.
So let's talk about that for just a second. So this is my favorite part.
Segment.
This is the segment where you get to tell all without any fear of retribution. So let's go through now. It's interesting because your new character obviously is going to have to come up with his own opinion. But let's go with Gildan, because Gildan was the one that you had played the longest. So from Gildan's,
this new guy's gonna be harsh.
That's good. So all right, so we're gonna go around, and I just want you to. The first thing I'm going to say the character's name. This is about the character, not the player. Say the first word that comes to Gildan's mind, and then just provide a paragraph or two what you think of that character. Okay, so let's zone in Gildan from the dead. We're summoning him back right here. Gildan, come back from the light. You have a calling.
I speak with dead.
You must answer. Okay, so Gildan. Bruin Boozebeard.
Oh, Bruin. Let's see. That's Gildan.
First word that pops in your head, and then a couple
Drunk.
All right. Fair enough.
You go around this cursed land only thinking about beer and doing beer stuff and whatever, does he even know he's in a cursed land?
It's a good question.
That would have been Gildan's thoughts about it. But every time Gildan had extra spirits or whatever, he handed it over just because he didn't consume that much. His diet and exercise was pretty consistent.
Okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. Shepherd Brinley.
He was curious about him. He didn't really have an opinion yet. He felt that was another Aasimar and was really, really looking forward to exploring the similarities between them, trying to figure out what he was. I think it would have proved a lot of answers based on his origins.
Gotcha.
If he only had time.
Gotcha. All right, so first word that comes to your head in a couple sentences. Here we go. You ready for the next one? Nyla Summerhane. A.K.A. Slenderbot.
schizophrenic.
All right.
Like, Gildan thought she had multiple personalities
All right.
because she wasn't consistent, and she seemed to be a paladin with divine abilities, can heal. Is a thin elf in armor, moves around just fine, can teleport, but then threatened kids to kill them. Like,
How's that all come together? So confusing. You spend enough time in the woods, I guess anything is game. All right. Zuden Silverheart.
let's see.
First word in a couple sentences. A couple phrases.
Reason.
Okay.
He was the to Gildan, Zuden was the only one with a head on his shoulders.
All right.
Consistently. Looking for him for leadership, direction. Gildan kind of made sure that because he was a healer, he was so integral to the party that he kind of had to take priority over him. So if Zuden needed to get clear, Gildan would try to make sure that happened or take a few hits. For instance, in the crow fight that we weren't supposed to fight.
Hey, come on now.
you told us. We didn't know.
It's all right.
The first thing Gildan did was try to clear it off so he could do stuff, and just the dice rolls did not go in our favor that day.
All right, and last but not least, Mel Bates.
Is cynic the right word?
Oh, we're about to Google and find out.
No, cynic's not right. Maybe it is. Whatever word or term describes someone who sees the possibility of evil in everything. Because
Okay.
it gets him off. I don't understand.
All right. Okay. Paranoid or whatever.
Yeah.
whole new level.
Mel to Gildan was a very confusing character that Gildan was almost left to be the caretaker of him, and Gildan was not up for that challenge. There were several times, I think either 2 to 3 times, where Gildan went with him as escort, keep an eye on, that kind of thing, and stuff just went bad.
Okay. All right.
He also
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I guess he also
Oh, sorry. Hold on just a second.
good.
Okay. Let's keep going.
He also Mel kind of coaxed Gildan's playful side. He was the only one that could keep up with Gildan, and when they were chasing that one guy, it was kind of like, all right, we could do this, and it's not super dangerous. It can be kind of fun. Let's keep up that fun and play a prank on him with magic, which freaked everybody out. And that was when Gildan started to wise up. He didn't have the intelligence to predict that, but he would learn from it quickly and not make that same mistake.
Got it. So, in closing, what tell us a little bit about what we're gonna see, and I don't want to spoil it, but what are we bringing in? What's gonna happen here?
So I'm bringing in a paladin dwarf, kind of almost a hero of his people from a faraway land, sent for a reason he doesn't know into this cursed land. don't know if you want me to do the name or anything.
Go ahead and give us a name. That's all right.
His name is Khazard.
Okay.
Trueville. It's like True Anvil. He has a title back home called the Arcvane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you'll allow this or not, but I was going to have it to where he could forge, like smith, like with smiting, like using a spell slot.
Okay, that could be interesting. I'll have to figure that out.
It's just for flavor text. It wouldn't actually be anything.
Yeah, no, it sounds like fun. So what is his kind of going to be his, what do you think, what does victory look like for him in Barovia, do you think?
Well, he's paladin. He's going to be on the lawful side, getting rid of evil. But really, he's going to be searching for a lead into why he's here, because he still doesn't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
He'll pick up on it pretty quick that it's going to be 2 Strahd, so he's going to be very focused that it must be to cleanse these lands of the curse.
Gotcha.
He's going to immediately... He will see very eye to eye with Zuden, and not so much Bruin.
Okay. All right.
The rest of the party, he's going to be pretty harsh on. I think a more no nonsense.
Okay. Like, quit this tomfoolery. What do you think you're doing, BS?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Clark the OG1, thanks for joining. He was making fun. He called you daddy. Gonna be daddy.
Oh.
Anyway.
Or is that you, daddy?
Maybe I'm daddy. I'll just go with your daddy for now. I don't know. Somebody's daddy. Anyway, all right, man. Well, tonight is the night. We're gonna introduce him. Hopefully you're ready. We got two.
I'm not ready.
2 new folks to come in. Is the guy ready for import? I guess that's an important part.
It's done. Cool. It's done on D&D Beyond.
All right, so I'll import those things. We're gonna get going. Hey, folks, don't. Thank you, Will, for joining me. He'll be back again sometime soon. We try to rotate through everybody in this activity, so we have a lot of fun. Hopefully, next time you guys will join us and ask us more questions. I'll leave it open for those of you watching. If you want to ask Will another question about his gaming background or anything about his character tonight, or even, make a suggestion to him about what his character should do. Or make a suggestion to me about what I should do to the characters. With the characters. For the characters. Definitely do that right now. This is your chance. So hit me up in Twitch, hit Facebook, hit YouTube. Any of those work. If you have a question for us, do it right now. You've got a 30-second countdown. Maybe not full 30. That was my son. He was, what are you doing? I'm being strange, Jackson. It's okay. Tonight, what to expect is we're waiting for questions. To give you guys a little recap of what's going on. We'll do this again when the game starts. But they were at a tower, essentially, that was decrepit and kind of falling apart. They met someone new, who I had her name just a little bit ago, and I can't remember now. Gabriella. I think it was her name. Gabriella, and so Gabriella is there with the party now. The werewolves have left the scene without murdering anybody, so that's a step in the right direction, thanks to your character's grand sacrifice. And so coming up next, the characters are going to decide what to go do. Now, what's really interesting, Will, is that this game has, it started off with a reading of for telling where certain things might be. Now, unfortunately, there's only a few characters left that actually know about the reading.
Fortunes, yeah.
So hopefully the fortunes will come back around, and some folks will start thinking about those, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I think the night's going to be interesting. I think we're going to have some fun. We'll see where you guys end up going, and we'll go from there. Any parting last words there, Will?
No, I don't really have anything. I'm curious to where I'm going to be coming in this next session.
Do you have a quote for your new character?
No.
What would be some catchphrase?
that needs to be developed.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us for Before the Curse. Thank you for joining us, and then make sure and join us in 20 minutes. We'll be starting the game live, and you'll get a chance to actually play along with all of our players. We really love the interaction. Will loves it especially. He gets there and banters with everybody, and it's a lot of good times. So go tell all your friends. Right now, 20 minutes right here on the Twitch channel or the Facebook channel or the YouTube, whatever you want to do, and play along with us this evening as we play yet another edition of It's Game Night, Curse of Strahd. Thanks again, Will. We'll see you guys next time.